Hi, this is Steve from Douro. Today we're going to be doing a quick start with Cal, which is our one-stop shop to unlock powerful time-based insights. We're going to try and keep this under 5 minutes, so let's get started. On the screen, you'll see the listing that's in the Snowflake Marketplace, and then there's some documentation on rough things, how to get started. Once you've installed it, you'll get brought to this main page with a README with some information on fields and some other things. I've already done the installation before, so I won't get prompted for the permissions that you probably will, but you'll be able to come in here. I'm going to reinstall it so you can sort of see what the steps look like. I'm going to choose a fiscal calendar to make sure the fiscal fields are all populated. I'm also going to check the holidays that I want. We're going to be using some Snowflake sample data today, so I need to roll the time back a little bit to take advantage of that. So we'll do that, but I'll leave the rest of the defaults here. Holidays from the US. The time zone's sort of an important one. Let me get that going because it takes a minute. Each night there's some updates, some tasks that go through and get run to quickly update some calculated fields to make sure that you're comparing like for like with current dates, current weeks, etc. So while that's generating, those will all be calculated for the first day, and then we'll be able to see some samples in here down below once that's done. Should be just a minute now, or less obviously. Here's the quick sample as we run out, but it'll be easier to see. We can jump over to an editor I've been playing around with. So I'm going to select from the view first to start. We can get a view of some of these fields. The first ones you'll see are probably pretty standard and what you would expect to sort of show different ways of the dates that can be gone through and shown, week numbers, the holiday, if it's a holiday, what the holiday is, some of that information. So you move out to the right, you can get some more, I wouldn't say obscure, but different or more granular ways to go through and look at the information that you've got. We've got different dates and then also the comparisons from like week to date, month to year, some of those different items that go on. The sample data that I'm going to be using today is from the orders table. One note, you can use the ID field as a surrogate key from Cal, so you can go through and use that in your fact tables. You can also just join on the SQL date, which is what we're going to do here today for a little bit of an easier science, or an easier start. So you can see I've got a little CTE that does just that, joins on the SQL date to the order date, and then I just was going to break this down and look at orders by year. Nothing too crazy. There's not a ton you can really do with that, but it's nice to be able to see. I was going to look at, maybe we can get a little bit more like let's do the quarter name. And now you can start to see a little bit more of a breakdown here where we're getting a little bit more granular, looking at some of those items. And that might allow us to unlock some other variation so that you can go through and start to do some real analysis. I'd like to see it a little bit more granular than that even. Let's throw the week in there and see if that helps us break anything down. And then, we can start to look at that at a decent level to see if there's any shifts up or down, whether that was related to seasonality, changes in process. We can start to look into why those things maybe have happened in the past, but more importantly, you can start to look as well forward for demand forecasting, whether that's in retail or manufacturing, a lot of different industries that can go through and get started with that. So just to recap, we've gone through and found Cal, installed it, and started to play around with it with some Snowflake sample data. You can start to play around with your own data like that as well. And please reach out with any questions or issues or feedback. We'd love to hear more. Thanks for taking the time to watch this.